Recovery. Sam Allardyce was brought in to save West Ham, to bring them back to the Premier League where they belonged. Solidification. He did just that, brought West Ham back to the promised land and led them to 3 consecutive safe finishes in mid-table in the Barclays Premier League. But then stubbornness from Big Sam led to stagnation of the first team. And while they did achieve 4th place by Christmas last season, by the end of the year, he had fallen out with the supporters and left the club in 12th place in the Premier League. But now, a new beginning arises for West Ham United. Former player Slaven Bilic has rejoined the club and welcomed back as assistant manager to create Slaven's Claret and Blue Army. And West Ham United have found their man. They've brought in their new manager to try and lead them into glory, with many new pieces added to the club. Some budding superstars and some very, very talented newcomers, as well as a new captain to lead them along this journey. West Ham United look to say goodbye to their home ground that they've known for so long with an absolute fantastic send-off. How are we doing, guys? Moose here, back for episode 1 of our West Ham United FIFA 16 career mode. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this to really get going since FIFA came out. I'm just ecstatic to finally have everything set up, get it underway. You can see right now we're starting match difficulty world class, 8-minute halves. For now, we'll see how things set up. Moderate financial strictness, everything like that. Playing on pounds. European competition started off in season 1. So excited to get this underway. A couple of rules that I'll also tell you before we get this underway. Things that I want to throw in just to make it a little tougher on myself. Number 1, I want to use loan players. They can't play against their loan teams. Like Jenkinson can't play against Arsenal, things like that, just because it'll be more realistic and make it tougher on me squad management wise. Also, if we buy anyone from a team that's, he's already been used in a competition we're playing in, we can't use him in that competition cup type, just like it is in real life, just because it'll make it more realistic. You won't see me buying big players from a big name team in the middle of the season that won't be able to play for me in a competition they've already been in. So that's the first thing. Also, you can see we did decide to go into the European International Cup. I don't have us in the Europa League this season for West Ham because we didn't qualify in real life, so I want us to have to earn that right. But I did throw us into the International Cup because it will give us some preseason games and get to know the squad. We're going to be playing them, much like West Ham got to know their squad in European qualification this year. So we will be in that cup. We'll be potentially able to win some money. Be a lot of fun just to mix up with some new teams and get to know the boys before we get into the Premier League competition. Some goals here for the season. They like us to reach a round of 16 in the cup. In the league, mid-table. I think that's more than achievable. If nothing else, definitely want at least a top half finish. No question about it. Top 8. 6 would maybe be pushing it, but that would be phenomenal. So that's where I'm looking. We have the first transfer window disabled, as I usually do, because I want to use the realistic squads at least for half a season before you start getting the wild and wacky transfer activity. So I want to use the real team, which means we'll have £21.5 million in the budget, but we'll be able to use it on things like a youth scout, maybe a second one. We'll have to see before we get into the January transfer. We'll save a little bit, obviously, for January. But take a look at the squad. I'll say in goal, we're set with Adrian Randolph as his deputy. Very, very solid. Jenkinson on loan will be our starting right back. Of course, Joey O'Brien still at the club. Center back, obviously, West Ham brought in Ogbonna, who will be in our starting pair with Winston Reid. Good depth, though, with Tompkins and James College. You can also see Reece Oxford has been added by me. Won't actually be in FIFA until, I think, December 18th, which is when his 17th birthday is, when they can add you to FIFA. But I've gone ahead and create him because I think he's a massive prospect for us. Left back, we'll touch on Oxford a little bit. Left back, obviously, Aaron Cresswell is our big starter. He doesn't have anyone really behind him, but guys like O'Brien can play on the left side. Ogbonna can play as a left back, so we do have some depth there. In midfield, some phenomenal players. Kiyate and Song back in the team again this year. Song's been brought back on another loan from Barcelona. Out wide, we have guys like Amalfitano, not going to use him so much. We might be looking to sell him. He's on the outside looking in terms of his career and just his value at this point. But he's a player that can offer us some width, can play in central midfield as well. Pedro Obiang, great new buy alongside Noble. So we have a ton of central midfielders. Out left, we have Victor Moses and Mikel Antonio, who can both play on the left-hand side. Matt Jarvis, of course, out on loan. So we're definitely strong there. And Lanzini, another cam that can play out on the wing as well. Of course, the big main man we've brought in, Dimitri Payet, the guy that I've been looking forward to using so much. Can't wait to do absolute damage with him. Striker, we're very deep now, actually, because we've brought in Yelovich. We have Carroll coming back, Zarate, Valencia, and, of course, leading scorer Diafra Sacco. So some really, really good players up top that we'll be looking to use, especially because we do have a 4-2-3-1 formation set up right now, but we could go to a 4-4-2 or something like that just to utilize the couple of very solid strikers we have. But like I said, I did create Reece Oxford. And then the thing with him is I don't know how he'll grow. I've made him pretty well rounded because he can play center back and CDM. If you want to see the stats, I've given him, pause the video. But we don't know what his potential will be. He has a good value, but of course you can't set potential or anything like that for a creative player. So it remains to be seen how well he'll actually develop for me. So that's going to be something we'll have to look forward to. And a player I really wanted to have in the career mode, so I went ahead and created him because I can't really wait to use him at all. But like I said, with the money we have, we bought a 5-star scout, and it only cost $2.8 million in the budget. So we might go out and get another scout. Let me know if you think I should go out and get another 5-star scout for only about $3 million. I think it could be a fantastic deal. Get some youth players, because that really makes a career mode, in my opinion, is having some youth players, guys that you've developed, that you have a personal connection to for the club, that you can bring in and make big parts of your first team. We've sent our scout out to England to get things started off, and that's where we're going to go with him for now. Let me know in the comments if you think we should get another scout. And then, of course, the training. We will have some segments. I've got some things planned coming forward, West Ham TV and things like that, where we'll feature different training activities. But just for the first setup, I wanted to go and simulate just to see how things went, how they kind of played out in the 5 trainings, and how they progressed some players. So that's what we did for the first training. The thing I want you to do before we get into the next video, obviously we have some time because we don't have the transfer window open right now, but let me know, guys, you think we should be looking at. I think we need some wingers, but let me know potential transfer targets, things like that, what you're looking forward to the most about this career mode, and of course, Hammers headlines give me some ideas. So thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Like we always do with this time. I got to shine.